This is a video testimony of the results of work on the technologies of the teaching of Grigori Grabovoi on salvation and harmonious development.
Здравствуйте.
Hello, I am a follower of the teaching of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi. I would like to share my testimonies about the results of applying the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi. I am Kvistova Lyudmila Vladimirovna, born in 1942. Testimony number 1. In 2003, from the books of Tykoblev, I learned about Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi, a unique person and his teaching. My mother had been suffering from a sore throat for many years, suffocation, and that year she was in particularly bad shape. I called the local doctor to the house. The doctor wrote out a bunch of directions for tests and examinations. Mom was weak and could not go anywhere. Then I suggested that at 10 p.m. she look at her right index finger and mentally address Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi with a request to cure her. Concentrate for 3 to 5 minutes. For more than a week, Mom had phlegm coming out of her throat and a slight fever. The suffocation passed, the condition returned to normal, and my mother never remembered her throat again. She lived another 16 years and passed away at 95. This was the first real acquaintance and application of the teaching of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi. The following testimony is related to the number series 2145432 and the words resurrection and immortality. I have been using them for many years. Applying them to people and animals, it always works. It was a hot summer. I was walking up from the metro with my bags to the exit to Leningradsky station. At the police station or police post, a man was sitting on a chair, and the policeman was persuading him to be patient. The ambulance had already left. I stood by the wall, put my bags on the floor, as if I was resting, and began to control, without looking at the man, sending him the number series 2145432 and the words resurrection, immortality. The policeman went to his room, came back. All this time I worked with the man with the number series and words, resurrection and immortality. After some time he came to life and said that he had been to the cemetery, remembered the departed. When the ambulance arrived, the man was already on his feet, and the policeman, apologizing to the ambulance doctor, said, "The folk craftsman helped here." I did nothing, stood by the wall, resting, and mentally, with love, sent a number series and words. This was the case. This is Moscow Leningradsky railway station. Since 2003 and up to the present time I have not parted with the teaching of Grigori Grabovoi. Unfortunately, for various reasons the intensity of the work was different, but help from Grigori Petrovich always came. The following testimony. I was hurrying to catch the bus, walking very fast, almost flying, and suddenly a sharp pain in my right knee. I stood like a stopper. I couldn't move my right leg. The people sitting on the bench came up, helped me jump to the beach, sit down. Two healthy men carried me home on crossed arms. A friend mobilized them. I took a number series for the right leg, for the knee, wrote the numbers on the knee, on pieces of paper, which I attached and wrapped around the knee. I rubbed the knee with herbal balm. For several days I only took steps to the toilet and bathroom. Then I went to the store with a stick, and about 7 to 10 days later I went to Moscow to the health center, where I was registered for the Moscow population checkup campaign, even before the acute pain in my knee. The medical device showed all the parameters of my body, everything was normal, except for the right knee, slightly reduced mobility. The doctor said that most likely a piece of the thorn in the knee broke off and got somewhere wrong. I remembered my old case, 10 to 15 years before that. I went to the doctor because of a sharp pain in my knee when I stood on it. But I worked with my knee around the clock, repeating number series and not removing notes from my knee. And here is the result. I walk and run on my own legs without going to the doctors. My summary. The teaching of Grigori Grabovoi is a gift from God to people, and everyone can use it. And those who hinder the spread of the teaching of Grigori Grabovoi are the enemies of man and humanity. This is my opinion. And also, immersing yourself in the teaching of Grigori Grabovoi, you begin to live differently, automatically neutralize, harmonize the negative situation, remove the state of abnormal physical matter, including the physical body of a person, animals, plants, and so on, and try, I am talking about myself, to send love to those whom you do not accept because of their negative, in quotes, properties. The testimonies that I voiced are a small part of what I used and use from the teaching of Grigori Grabovoi. I and all my friends are very grateful that we have such a wonderful teacher on earth at this time.